Hey everyone, and welcome to the third episode of the Unite podcast. Tonight we have George, who was a member of the winning team from Saturday's tournament, which encompassed players from both our Pokemon Unite and Unite Stadium, so there was definitely a lot of people involved, and his team came out on top, so that's cool. We're going to get some info from him about the whole tournament. Of course, my name is MIT Epona, and my co-host here is Lazadin, but George, let's get a little introduction.
Before we begin, though, I would like to ask you a very important question, George.
Okay.
What's Luvdeez?
Luvdeez it's our favorite Pokemon, Luvdesk.
Oh, okay. Wait, it's
Yeah.
not a D's nuts joke?
I mean, that's open to interpretation, I guess.
I thought this entire time that it was a D's nuts joke. Wow.
Have you seen the logo? Maybe you can bring it up on stream. I'll upload it to the server.
Beautiful. Okay, that is definitely.
I actually have it pulled up now because it was part of the intro screen to the whole podcast.
Okay, yeah.
So everyone wants to know, who are you? You know, who is Luvdeez? Where'd you guys come from?
Uh, I'm George. I go by Goof in some games. I played a little bit of both betas. My team's just a bunch of my friends from different games. Like me and Carve won an Albion online tournament together. India, I played Dota and HOTS with. Zugreg was on the HOTS team that I was the manager for. And Toonslim is just another HOTS guy. So it's like a mix of my friends in one spot.
So how much experience do you all have?
In like what experience in what?
Years altogether?
Yeah, I've been playing games my whole life. I don't know. I don't want to out how old I am. Too many years.
Yeah, it gets hard to count.
I started playing. I'm more of like a Dota guy than a League guy. Like I like hit Diamond in League or whatever, but I grew up playing Dota and then I played like HOTS. But I've played some League, you know, to the point I'm like in a Nivea one trick. I go mid. I don't know what anybody does.
That sounds like the average Nivea one trick.
I get like really mad when people jump over my Nivea wall, like especially like Talon. You guys ever
Oh,
play against
God.
Talon? He has a
Yeah.
when the last time I uninstalled League was when I learned that Talon's jump has a different cooldown depending on the wall he uses it on.
Nice. Yeah, Talon's a great little bit of game design. Thank you, Riot Games. But yeah, so I didn't get the chance to watch the VOD, unfortunately, but Opponent did, and he mentioned that you guys never picked Gengar at all. Well, is there any particular reason for that?
Nobody's picking Gengar. But
Interesting.
we didn't play any. Maybe we played some Gengars, but none of the really hard games we had were against Gengar. But listen, I think all the junglers bought AD items, so
Oh, I see. Okay. That makes
Yeah, it
sense.
seems like Gengar would be a Pokemon that excels really well in solo queue, but maybe not
Yeah.
so much in competitive.
Yeah, it could be a solo queue.
that's
God.
what I thought. That's what I thought too. But now people are doing a thing during Zapdos where he runs to a point and he like 1v1s anybody, so he gets like 100 in automatically. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so if you
Yeah.
have like your one guy on jump pad or whatever to stop turn in, it's not enough to stop Gengar from turning in his points late game.
Mhm.
So I don't know. That's scary.
Yeah. That is a pretty good one. Also, Gengar just kills his Zapdos so fast anyway if you leave him alone.
Yeah.
Cool.
Who do you think is actually I already answered this question, but who do you think is the best Pokemon in the game right now?
Cinderace. So you thought I was
Is it-
gonna say?
Yes.
I agree with
Okay.
that.
Yeah, Cinderace.
Do you think it's particularly close?
Uh, maybe. Cinderace Eldegoss, maybe? I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't seen people the non-Eldegoss comps working, and I haven't seen non-Cinderace comps working. So in that way, which one feels more oppressive in the game? Cinderace feels more oppressive during the game, but they both seem pretty necessary.
Mm.
Like when we play non-Eldegoss comps, we just like I step up like behind our Snorlax and I just combo them before the fight starts, and then they either have to walk back to a point or fight with half HP on their front line. So
Yeah, do you just fill it in with another attacker?
who?
Like
What?
if you're not playing Eldegoss, do you just put an attacker in place of that?
I saw some guys we played Mime. I don't like playing without we play Eldegoss every game right now.
Yeah.
Pollen Puff and the shield.
Yeah. His ult's
Almost.
good. He can carry whatever items you want because
Mhm.
he doesn't have to do damage.
And you guys picked Machamp, of course, which a lot of people were surprised about. Were a lot of people playing that before or not? Machamp jungle, kind of run around, pull a submission out, something like that.
Uh, to be honest, when we were like not going so hard the first couple days because we were learning the game, we didn't play much in the betas. Like some of these teams you're playing against try harder than the betas, and they like already have experience.
Mhm.
And I noticed some of these guys have scrim partners too. When the tournament started, I noticed a bunch of people had friendly matches in their match history. So like some of
Okay.
these guys are practicing against other people, and we're not doing that yet. You know, we're kind of chilling.
What did you
So
do
one of
for
our,
those first 2-3 days?
you were learning the game. Just like we didn't start queuing ranked until we had leveled items,
Oh, okay.
and some of us have busy schedules too.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, you can't just play all day, So basically, you just came in with a lot of experience and, manual skill that just carried you guys through all the way to the end.
yeah, I think the HOTS background helps, right? Because it's
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
if there's a MOBA that's similar to it's HOTS. So
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people compare it to League, and I'm like, there's a different game that feels way more similar than this. And I'm like,
I think it feels more like freaking Battle Right than it does League, but
I kind of get that with the
uh,
cooldowns and everything.
and the joystick movement is more like the
yeah.
WASD movement.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, sorry. There you go.
So I noticed, for a little bit, you guys had the comms open on the stream that you were running, but you shut it off a bit. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Are you trying to like save some strats, maybe even for the future? You just don't want people to know about your shot calling. You think, in that terms, you have some sort of advantage over other teams?
No, my teammates don't like open comms, so I
Okay.
want to be
That's fair.
the stream stuff. Man, I stream for like a week every time a new game comes out and we're high ranked or whatever, and then I usually stop streaming. So it's not something I'm too worried about, like the stream being absolutely the best it can be for the viewers. Not that I don't like my viewers and stuff, but if like one of my teammates not comfortable, I'm just gonna turn it off.
Makes sense, totally.
Yeah, that makes sense.
On the subject of changing, like hiding strats too, we pugged with someone today and we just told them everything. Like we just completely caught him up. Like
That's good.
Oh, nice.
I don't think it's a good idea actually, but the game's new. It's gonna be different in a few days anyway. Like it's starting to look like Lucario's really OP.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it
I've
seems like people just keep changing a Pokemon every single day. There's like, you have to
I've
have
been
this on the
on.
lineup, and then it's out the next day, and something new is in the next day. Like, you'll see Crustle's going to come in 2 days from now, and then he'll just be out the third day.
If you ask me though, like I think what we didn't expect maybe 2 days ago, so like day before the tournament, and we started to realize during the tournament and like now today especially, is that having strong last hit in lane is actually a much bigger factor than
Mm-hmm.
we thought it was. This because people are starting to get more aggressive with their invades, right? Like if you run Eldegoss Cinderace now, people are just walking all over that lane,
Oh, yeah.
and so you see Cinderace jungling a lot.
Yeah, you see a
Yeah.
lot of Cinderace jungle. Have you seen any Greninja jungle? I saw a little bit of that.
Dude, I never see Greninjas. The only Greninjas I see are like hard stomp games. Cinderace is too good, man. Feint is ridiculous. Like,
Oh, yeah.
oh, Gengar's bugged, by the way. That's another thing. Like,
Oh, yeah.
his
I was going to ask you about that.
his ability says it's 2 second cooldown, his blink, but it's not 2 seconds. Like, you can go in try mode right now if you wanted to and go look.
Yeah, you
His
just
blink
spam it.
cooldown.
Yeah.
His blink was not 2 seconds cooldown. Like, it's not.
It's 1.5 right now.
Maybe. Like, sometimes I wait for him to start blinking and I put my Pikachu stun underneath where he's gonna blink. He lands and he's already gone again before the Pikachu stun goes off. Like,
So,
it's pretty outrageous.
so I don't remember timing it before, the release of the game, but I don't know if that was something where it used to be that duration, but they changed it but didn't update the text for it. So, no, it's not.
I played a lot of Gengar in JP Beta. I was one of
Okay.
the people that was like, guys, he's not C tier, you're stupid. And yeah, like this is the exact same he was back then, although maybe a little bit more damage, but the hex is the same.
Okay.
People probably didn't like. I bet a lot of people didn't have the translation for the cooldown reduction part of the thing, right? They just tested the ability. They're like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah, yeah. Because Dream Eater and Shadow Ball are both kind of awful.
Mhm. Are there
But
any
it's
other Pokemon that you think have to stay in the lineup right now? So it seems like Cinderace is pretty strong, Eldegoss is strong. Do you think those other three can all rotate out, or anything else has got to stay?
The next closest one is like playing Snorlax, I think.
Yeah, I can see that definitely.
yeah,
I don't believe that Snorlax is like he's not on the same level in that way.
Hmm.
yeah.
Eldegoss
I think
definitely isn't on the same level. So when we load in, the other team doesn't have Cinderace. I'm like, all right. I want to say I'm happy, but I also feel like I'm gonna get like +1 master points or +0 when I don't see Cinderace in the other team. So I'm
yeah,
happy in that. I'm happy in that I think we're gonna win, but I'm not happy in that. You know, it's not. They're usually a newer team, not worth many points. I
yeah,
say
makes sense.
newer. I say newer because I'm used to saying new as a nice way to say poopy. You know, but
Hmm.
Yeah,
everybody's new to this game, so it's a poopier team if they're not playing Cinderace, so you don't get as many points.
yeah, it makes sense.
Cool.
What's your thoughts on like potential rotations out? Like for example, like there's obviously two tanks besides Snorlax. Like, do you think there's any room for the other two, or do you think it's just you just got to run the Snorlax, man?
Like rotating a different tank in for
Yeah,
instead of Snorlax, like in place of
yeah.
him. I don't know. Solbro's okay. Surf level 2 is nuts. The thing
Hmm.
about Snorlax though is he single-handedly makes a lane hard
Definitely.
for
Yeah.
anybody. His last hit is really strong, and Slowbro doesn't bring necessarily the same thing,
Mhm.
especially not until 4. Like that stupid water gun thing is so. I have trouble aiming it even. I don't know if I'm just bad with my controller or what,
I don't have any
but
issues aiming it, but it
Yeah, I'm
is.
usually
I
okay
can
with
definitely
it.
understand.
until
I
I
can
Um,
have
definitely understand.
until I have surf, like what'll happen is like it'll target the person, and then when I drag it off, it like I overcorrect or whatever. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm struggling on Slowbro for sure, but I think Slowbro is good against characters that aren't getting played too. Like you play Slowbro into Absol or something, and just makes the character useless. Talon Flame
Hmm.
makes the character useless. He's good against Gengar.
yeah, I
Yeah.
just noticed when I was watching your matches back again today, when you had the Snorlax versus Snorlax lanes, it was really contentious. Like which one is going to do the better move, the heavy slam? Like who's going to actually really get it off, or even the tackle? Like whenever they had to use their moves, it was very important that something actually went where it should and did the damage to the right unit or not. So like where you're saying like last hitting, that definitely like comes into it.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
think if you lose like one monkey or something though, a I don't know all the new Pokemon, man. You gotta bear with me. But if you lose your little monkey guy, it's not the end of the world, right? Like, but
Hmm.
if you lose badly in lane, it can be a problem, right? Like say you lose, say your top, you lose a neutral crab, you lose your monkey, and they invade your top monkey as well.
Hmm.
You're
Oh
probably
yeah.
you're doing really bad then. Like that's enough to
Mm-hmm.
make a difference in the game. But like
Mm-hmm.
I think losing one guy is not too
I think
bad.
losing the if you lose the middle odd note and then you also lose another odd note in lane, I think that's pretty over. But
That's the Teletubby, right? If you lose the Teletubby,
Yes, sure.
yeah, that's a Teletubby.
the Teletubbies are. I don't play bottom too much,
That's fair.
but yeah,
I,
I
I
imagine
only play bottom,
they're
and I
they're the
feel like you
bottom lane
can't
monkey
lose them.
equivalent.
Yeah, but they're way more XP. It's insane.
Yeah.
The the monkeys are 5 money at top. I think they're are they not the there's two different types of monkeys, right? The running down the lane monkey and then the lane monkey. The
Yeah.
lane monkey is like in Audino. Is that how you say his
Uh,
name?
Odd no's are the odd no is how you say it's now, yeah. But the XP difference. The points are the same, but odd no's get more XP.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
That
I'm
doesn't
pretty
seem
sure
right
about
to
that.
me. Cause like top bot doesn't all level top normally. Like it's the same.
I'm pretty sure about that. I'll have to double check, but I'm almost certain about that.
Maybe bot does out level top. It's not
That's
been
what people have been
noticeable for
saying
me
for
though.
a
That
long time, and I always assumed that was why. Because I don't think there's more spawns.
There's not more spawns. It's the same amount of
Yeah.
spawns. It's just you get 5 odd no's instead of 4 apalms and a corefish.
yeah, the little crab guy is substituted for one of the big
Hmm.
mobs.
Yep. Or substantially tankier as well. Like the crab dies in like 2 seconds, man. It's crazy.
Hmm.
Yeah, with Pika Snorlax, you can be in the lane, pretty much taking the crab in a way that's impossible for anyone to contest it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I saw you guys were stacking the stuns very nicely. The heavy slam into the thunder shock or thunderstorm, whatever it is.
Yeah,
That was working
when
out
my
really well.
when my hand cooperates, I don't know. I'm bad with the controller still. I feel like I make a lot of mechanical mistakes.
Do you do Joy Cons or Pro Controller?
I have the Pro Controller, but I don't know. I haven't played console games in like 10 years or something. I think the last console game I played was like the original UFC game or something like that.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Is there any way that you think the meta is bad right now in that tournament? Do you think there was any sort of improvements you could have made to your lineup? Or, I mean, like, it definitely followed what people had been saying, where maybe you go down, you do Dreadnought, you go up, you do Rotom, and then you just keep going up and down and you just push that lane, and whoever wins that fight kind of wins that battle. And then maybe at the end, it all comes to who has the XP advantage, and you go to Zapdos. Do you think there's any sort of modifications that should be made to those kinds of lineups? Because it seems very static. Like, that's what people are doing still.
I think PvE that, like I said, like PvE damage is becoming more important. Last hitting in lane and PvE damage on Zapdos is becoming more important. Sometimes we kill people and we can't Zapdos. Like we killed 3 people and we still can't Zapdos, so it's
Mhm.
not good.
I remember there was one comment you made during, I don't remember which match, but you said we killed them, but they're so low level that they were gonna respawn quickly. Um,
Yeah.
you think that's kind of odd that that exists almost? Because then you can obviously launch pad to the middle of the jungle and then someone block over.
This is the reason it's a problem, okay? Because they can run into you in mid, and like you have to constantly be aware of like which ults you're using. Maybe this is not a problem, but the dynamic that's working here is I think if you wipe them one time at Zapdos, you should probably win the game. Like that seems like enough. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And it doesn't seem to be happening that way, right? Because if you kill people that are like slightly lower level, they respawn a lot faster than you do if you had
Definitely,
like
yeah.
the very late levels. And if you use too many ults when you're wiping them the first time, they can come back and like ult you, and maybe it makes a difference.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I think Zapdos either needs to be. People are saying like, I think you should take the free money off of Zapdos. I don't know what it's called. The energy that you get, the cap points.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Like
points.
there's no reason Zapdos is strong enough. There's no reason it needs to give everyone 20 money when you kill him. And then the other thing is, I think they should make him. I was gonna say they should make him tankier, but I don't think that's right. I think what needs to happen is the the PVE damage needs to be more regulated between the different characters, right? Because Gengar kills it way too fast. Lucario
Mhm.
kills it way too fast. You basically can't not play Cinderace because he has to be hitting it the whole time. Like, especially
Yeah.
for the what's the name of the guy at the bottom? Dreadnought.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Yeah, yeah. You need Cinderace on Dreadnought in the early game.
Mhm.
So, or you have to like hard wipe the enemy team to be able to start it. So maybe I don't know how they do it, but they need to regulate the way last hits work on the boss points, and maybe Zapdos should be like, have you guys ever have you played HOTS?
Yeah, I
There's a
have.
capture point that spawns when you kill the boss. Maybe that would be better for
Mhm.
Zapdos, man. Because there's nothing worse than winning the whole game and then like someone comes in with like a high PV damage character and they like have ult speed, so it's impossible to land like a non-targeted CC on them, and they just
Mhm.
run and they get like the lucky 50-50 on Zapdos, and you lose after winning the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Cinderace in particular is so good at that with the blazing bicycle kick.
Yeah, I think maybe remove the bonus money from the Zapdos kill so that like if your team has been getting farmed, they don't have like randomly all have 20 extra money after Zapdos dies, and then
Mhm.
what's the other thing I was gonna say? Some of the guys need their PV damage adjusted. I don't know how they do it. I noticed in the practice mode you do different damage to the different PV monsters. Like for
Mhm.
example, like if you use your uh Pikachu, no matter what items you put on him, he always does 1200 damage to the crab with his Electro Ball at 15.
That's weird.
I don't know why
Hmm.
that is, but like
That
maybe something
sounds
some
really bizarre.
yeah, that it's pretty weird, but I don't know how they can fix it, but long story short, there's too much like you can't have Cramorant taking 800 years or Pikachu taking 800 years to kill Zapdos, and there's like Gengar who kills in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, I definitely agree
It's
with that.
the difference is just too big.
Mhm. Yeah, the that I think that's a big reason why a lot of the like special attackers aren't seeing play because of how like how much time it takes. Because think about the attackers off the top of your head, like all 6 of them. There's 2 of them that have good Zapdos DPS, and one of them is Greninja, who is bad for other reasons.
Bad because not Cinderace.
Yes. Well,
The
I
only
actually
reason
I think Greninja
Cinderace
might be
only gets
better
away
than
with
Greninja for, but
only way Cinderace gets away with laning as bad as it does is because it's like so OP like game.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Were you? I didn't really look out for it, but were you guys abusing the invincible part of Feint?
Yeah, like Feint as an invuln frame, of course.
It's insane.
If you
'Cause, like,
dodge like that's like one thing about Gengar too, right? Like I think you should be able to dodge it with like when people get really used to Gengar, we should be able to dodge the poison
Mm-hmm.
with
I
flash
agree.
and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And then he lands and he's pretty screwed, right? Like
yeah. Gengar with no hex reset is just a non-hero.
Yeah, because he's
Well,
usually jumping into a group of Pokemon because he wants to get everybody poisoned because like it's a higher chance, and it just means he can keep bouncing around a million times. So yeah, like if you just kind of dodge it, it's rough.
Gengar seems good. I think his 1v1 is too strong. I think if it was actually like, I don't know exactly what's going on with his cooldown, but it doesn't seem like, he blinks in and it's 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. That definitely doesn't seem like what's happening. If it is, then my perception of time in the game is definitely way off because it feels like Gengar blinks on you and then the moment he appears, he blinks on you again. Like,
Yeah, I thought it was just global move cooldown or something because I haven't played
It
Gengar at all.
is. It is 1.5 seconds. I'm almost certain of that. There's no way it's 2 seconds. Absolutely not. The tooltip is just flat out wrong.
yeah,
Which is
I'd
not
be
the
willing
first
to
time.
bet I'd be willing to bet the tooltip's wrong.
Yep. Sure, it'd be nice if we had tooltips, huh?
You know. Can you give some more insight on the whole Machamp thing though? I'm sure a lot of people watching don't really, or like just might not have seen it in their pubs yet because it is coming
Mhm.
over. I do see more people picking it, and then they just put mid. You know, what is so valuable about it instead of something else like maybe putting the Cinderace mid or something like that?
Um, you're asking why Jungle Machamp versus Jungle Cinderace?
Just why Jungle Machamp overall? What does it get from that early level and it's level 5 ganking and things like that?
Submission's a good ganking skill. We're picking. I like Machamp. Okay, so I think Machamp's competition is what's his name? The Digimon looking guy. Lucario.
Garchomp? Oh,
Lucario.
Lucario.
Yeah,
Is that a
Lucario.
Digimon?
The Digimon looking guy. All right.
Yeah. Okay, he is a Digimon looking guy, guys. Let's be real.
No, they're
But
always like kind of fatter, thicker. He's
no,
he's
no,
all bones.
Digimon are like always humanoid and like
That's
furry
fair.
looking. But
That's fair.
anyway, that guy Lucario, that's Machamp's competition. And Lucario brings like laning to the table, and Machamp brings the better ult, I think. Lucario also brings like better late game PvE, but
Mhm.
our philosophy going into the tournament was that like how strong your ult was at Zapdos meant everything, and for Dreadnought as well, like how strong you were at Dreadnought. So like first Dread and then ult at Zapdos was what we were thinking about, or me at least. I can't speak for my whole team always, but
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking was important. Like that also plays into like Pikachu versus Ninetales for us. Like I think Pikachu is probably Ninetales' abilities are not the best when you're like everyone's running around super speed at Zapdos because they've
Yeah.
all ulted. Every time we lose to a Ninetales comp though, I'm like, oh my god, I should be playing Ninetales. And then every time we win, I'm like, wow, Pikachu's so much better than Ninetales. So
Yeah, it's
we'll
one of
see.
those things.
Why not just
We'll
pick
see.
both,
You need a spot for Cinderace.
That's
Well,
true.
It's just they're fighting for a second chair.
you could run in the support slot, but then you're running a Ninetales over Eldegoss, which is kind of like.
hmm Yeah, someone thought when you said Digimon, you meant Garchomp, by the way, which I think would be more Digimon-like.
Yeah, that's what I
When
said.
I think of
Oh, okay,
Digimon, I
sorry.
think of like, hold on, let me look at. I'm gonna tell you which Pokemon are Digimon from my boomer perspective.
Because Gible is the small,
Let me
like
look.
very round object, and
Okay,
then
so
it starts
the most
growing pieces to it, and then it just
Mhm.
gets bigger, and that is
the most
Digimon.
Digimon Pokemon is Zerarar. This is the most
But
Digimon
he
Pokemon.
doesn't evolve. It can't
He
be.
got no. That's not what makes it Digimon, right? I'm talking
I'll
about the
take
art
that.
style.
I'll
It's like
take
an
that.
art
Yeah.
style issue, right? Like say like you look at a Gen 1 Pokemon like Wigglytuff, okay? Look at him. He's a pink square because they couldn't make him that detailed and stuff. He's got some eyes on him. Look like googly
He's
eyes. And
he's
then
pink
you look
blob 1 of 3.
It's just
yeah,
a
and then
balloon.
you compare him to Zorora's design. This is a Digimon.
Kind of looks
Say
like oh gosh, yes, that fox Digimon. What was the name of it?
Greninja's kind of a Digimon.
Fox
Cinderace
Digimon.
Digimon.
Garurumon?
Cramorant? No, Cramorant's perfect.
There's
Cramorant's a Pokemon.
there's like Were
Cramorant.
Garurumon, who I guess kind of looks like Lucario, maybe?
I feel like you guys are.
There's that like yellow fox There's that
Oh,
yellow
yellow.
fox Digimon. I don't remember what it's called.
Oh, I
I'm
don't know
just
that.
talking. I'm just talking about the overly,
Yeah.
detailed designs with
That's, yeah,
humanoid features all the time.
Okay.
that's fair. Cramorant is based though. I agree with.
Yeah, I like
he's-
Cramorant, Talonflame. Like, these. I didn't grow up with these Pokemon, but I like their designs. Even Crustle is cute.
That's what's
Cute.
amazing.
Absol is
What is
borderline
cute?
Digimon, but I'll give him a pass.
I agree with the Crustle's cute. Look at Dwebble, man. He's adorable.
Especially
It's
the
just
baby
like a
Crustle
rock.
in this game.
A rock
Oh,
bug.
yeah,
What's the baby Crustle called?
Dwebble.
That's not real.
It
That is
is.
real.
Okay.
Dwebblu.
Mm-hmm.
Dwebble.
That's what it is. Do you think Lucario would be better if it had a better Unite move?
I think Lucario's his weakness is his Unite move, sure, but he's really strong anyway.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Reason for stealing Zapdos too, right? His ult? I think so.
I mean, you could use it
Yeah.
like that, I guess. But does it even do a lot of damage? Because I never get hit by it.
does
I
a
just dodge it
lot.
every time, so I really
The
don't
thing
know.
with Lucario Unite is it does a lot of damage if you hit it point blank, and it also increases the power of your power up punch.
Okay.
Which, if you're not running power up punch, you're griefing.
I feel like it's a bit easy to dodge it sometimes.
Yeah, Lucario's. If you're comparing Lucario and Machamp, Machamp has the better ult.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Garchomp is like, he's a Cinderace tier laner, so that's why he's not in the discussion, I guess.
Who do you think is the
It
worst laner, like level 1?
It has to be Machop, right?
Yeah, we tried running Machop today in lane and it was not good, so
It's,
maybe I agree.
It's so bad.
What does he do? I don't even know what his ability is at level 1.
His bulk up gives you, I think, a small defense boost, and then it makes your next auto boosted automatically. And then-
Cinderace was doing horrible. Baby Cinderace, whatever his name is, yeah. And so we're like, just put Machop down there, it'll be fine. It wasn't better.
Because I feel like it's
Okay.
still just Gibble. I feel like Gibble doesn't really offer anything other than the blind, where you can't see the map, but you don't care because you're just attacking him.
Gibble straight up beats Machop with a 1v1, and it's not close.
Okay.
The
I've never
lanes
seen
don't-
it, so I don't know. But
The lanes don't really seem to be about fighting though. It seems to be like how much damage you have to last hit the
Mhm.
things. Like,
which I'm a little bit sad about. I like fighting, but XP
Yeah,
is what it is.
you get your first fight at like 850 or whatever when the bees spawn, right? Like it's not too
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, bees.
And then you can test from there on. The game's pretty action packed. You're contesting the middle crabs. You know what's a little bit upsetting? Whenever you secure an objective, like there's not much to be done besides run across the map to the other objective and kill the PV minions on the way. Like
Yeah.
the tier 2 points, part of the problem with Zapdos being the way that it is that even with a big lead, you can't cap the T2 points.
Yeah, you just sit there
Like-
for the last minutes of the game, and
You-
they're gonna just
you
jump
get-
on you, and they die, and
they
then they respawn, and then they jump again. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, if you mess up, then they're back in the game too.
Mhm.
So you can't score enough points pre-Zapdos to make Zapdos a non-factor, no matter how badly you're winning, unless in a competitive game, I guess. Like sometimes you get
Yeah,
blown
yeah.
out, like your Cinderace doesn't get levels and you get blown out of the game or something like that. But rarely is it the case that you can score
Yeah.
enough to make Zapdos a non-factor.
Yeah, it's like every
Sometimes you
Gibble just is a Garchomp at the end of the game. It doesn't matter how bad they're doing, and if he just somehow gets the better end of Zapdos, it just happens sometimes.
Yeah.
If I were to change anything, it'd be like a capture point for Zapdos, and maybe like Zapdos doesn't give everybody on the team money. I don't know why they think Zapdos giving everyone on the team money is a good idea.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It seems like MOBAs always love, like nowadays, to have bigger and larger comeback mechanics. So, it doesn't feel like, the old Dota and the old League, or maybe it's still League, I don't know, where you're just kind of sitting in the game and you know it's over. Newer MOBAs have a lot of comeback mechanics. Which is one of the things I didn't like about like one of the Dota patches where they just like hugely revamped it after Death Ball, after TI4. And like after then, I saw a lot of MOBAs where like, hey, we should probably have people be happy throughout the entire game and like feel like there's hope. So
League gets pretty doomed pretty early.
The thing
okay.
about the thing about Dota at TI4 is, for the first time in the game's history, it seemed like the game was solved. Like
Oh yeah.
the first team that gets mech breaks T1 tower, and then this is like way off subject, right? But
Yeah.
that meta, when I watched TI4, I was like, is the game ruined? Like the
Yep.
I don't know.
Like,
I'm like the only person that
It's just
liked
kinda
TI4 apparently.
TI,
Well, yeah,
I,
but the thing is, if they didn't do a patch after TI4, it would have been TI4 for the next year.
I was like
They went
rank
massive though. They
I
like
was
it
like
was
rank 50 or
Spectre
something
every
during
game.
TI4 for Dota
Oh,
and
nice.
NA, and it was like, I don't know, it made me depressed to watch TI4. Like I don't know, that was not good.
Fair enough.
Half the people pick green, the other half pick the blues, and you kind of just run at each
Alright.
other.
So who do you think, to get back on Unite, are you in Camp Venusaur or Camp Charizard for worst character in the game?
I mean, look at the characters. I don't know. Does Wigglytuff do anything, man?
Oh, Wigglytuff is also Wigglytuff
People
and Mime
think
are the
it's
ones that
great.
often get talked about,
I don't
but I
know.
don't think Mime is a valid answer. That's kind of troll.
Are we talking about like most unpickable too, or like worst character? Because like you can pick Venusaur and it's not the end of the world, but if you pick Greninja instead of Cinderace, you're at a bigger disadvantage. Say like you swap your Ninetales for a Venusaur,
Mhm.
you'd be better off than swapping your Cinderace for a Greninja.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? So like worst and the most unpickable is two different things for sure, right? So
Yeah.
or is it? I guess.
Yeah, I guess that is the question. I would I would say like my personal answer is I think Venusaur. I think it's the worst. Not the most not the most unpickable. I think most unpickable is fucking Charizard.
But with how much people are stacking, isn't the solar beam somewhat okay?
No.
No, I mean it does like a decent amount of damage, and it's not a crazy. It's not like a unite cooldown.
I played some
It's
Venusaur
like
today on our Smurfs. It wasn't horrible. I don't know.
I don't know.
Versus, I think like Charizard doesn't really do anything all game. He kind of flies
There's a
around and he burns you, but then you just walk past him. And
there's a team winning on the ladder with Charizard for a little while. He was
Charizard
just
is.
he was
Sorry,
just
go ahead.
hard farming. His team would stall Dreadnought, and then he would come to Dreadnought with ult. And Charizard ult is pretty oppressive if he out levels you.
Mhm.
Like he kind of just flies around killing everybody.
Yeah, I think that's the one utility Charizard has, which makes him not the worst character in the game. Is his Zapdos fight and his mid game Dreadnought fights are kind of insane with his ult, but
There's
otherwise,
like
yeah,
the two most important objectives in the game are Zapdos and first Dreadnought. So
yeah, yeah.
the people who are strong around those timings, they matter. I want to get back to playing ranked pretty soon, guys, but I'm open to more questions and stuff.
what do you mean?
I think he said he.
I'm ready to get going, you know,
Oh, okay.
when I
Oh
can.
yeah.
But I'll take some closing questions if you guys want.
Sure. How'd you feel about the tournament? Just like how it went, you know, your experience doing it. There were some big wait times, but overall, it seemed like most everybody was pretty happy with how it went. What do you
Yeah,
think about it?
yeah. The open tournaments in this, I guess I have to make a broader point. I don't like invite only tournaments when games first come out. Like
Mhm.
the like kind of competitive culture of inviting big streamers to play games they're not even good at in tournaments. I really don't like that stuff.
Oh yeah, it's
So
awful.
with that caveat, open tournaments with 70 teams and then 30 teams in a different bracket or whatever the hell it was.
Oh my goodness. Did it happen again? It didn't happen last time. I gotta get this figured out. Why does this happen?
Oh,
Yeah,
going to
I
kill?
don't. It didn't happen the second time, but
Yeah.
sorry.
All right.
Like
Are you good to? Or is he good to continue?
Yeah.
I'm from where I left off. I don't like tournaments where like just big streamers get invited and there's like one guy that actually plays the game in the tournament. That's not for me. You have
Mhm.
these big open brackets, so and they take like 7 hours. So there's two sides to the coin, but the thing where it's like every time it's like Scara playing the new game and Scara's in the tournament.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
There's this one organization that hosts tournaments. Like I know them from HOTS Wisdom or whatever. They just invite a bunch of HOTS players
Fucking wisdom.
that are like poo. Like there's a bunch of poo HOTS players in the tournament. Uh, I don't know, man. Like, I like the people too. Like,
Oh yeah,
you can like the people and not like what they do, right? So
yeah,
I just don't want to see the same poo hots play. Like, if there's a tournament tomorrow and it's like 10 hots players in Skara for the 10 hot teams in Skara for the because it's the only guy they could convince to be in the tournament, you know? Like,
yeah. It's like,
I don't want to
yeah,
see that again. But what can you do? You can't control what other people do.
yeah.
But I hope we do see more open brackets. I would have liked to see those guys. Some guys were being really toxic. I would have liked to see them, like, actually get punished for it.
I don't
Like,
think
Was
that's gonna
there
happen, but it would be
like,
nice.
are you talking about in game or like was there actually like shit happening in the tournament
no,
chat?
there's stuff happening in the Discord,
Oh, okay.
like way overboard trash talk and stuff like that. Like, did somebody got like a really bad laggy EU server and they weren't happy and they just wanted to host the next game, and the guy was like, first of all, he's playing like the easier teams in the beginning of the bracket, and he's like still talking shit to them,
Hmm.
and then later on he played one of the better teams, and they brought them to EU server because the tournament in that way it wasn't the best
Oh
organization,
yeah,
right? We had like various
TNA EU
regions,
stuff. Yeah.
Hmm.
but anyway, they beat them game one EU, and they're like, "Come on, man, you should at least tell us your EU before hosting, like, so you can, it's an international, all this stuff." But regardless, what the guy said is like, "You guys are trash. We'd win on NA anyway."
Nice.
And then it got really heated in between when they were deciding what server to play for the last game, and then the NA team ended up winning,
Yeah.
so that was pretty nice. But
It's always odd when like everybody is a nobody, but you try to act like you're somebody and try
Yeah.
to like push a certain ruling or whatever.
day four of a no prize pool Pokemon Unite tournament, you should just be being nice to each other though, like.
Yeah, it's literally like
Oh yeah.
most of the people probably have never played anything competitive in their life, and they're just trying to have fun. Like that's all
Yeah,
it really is.
Also,
should
like,
definitely.
I guarantee you the meta is just gonna be like completely foreign in like 2 weeks.
Hmm.
I, I don't know.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe Dreadnaught's a little overtuned though. Like, it's gonna be hard
Mhm.
to get away from this going to Dreadnought stuff.
Do you like the
Yeah.
meta? Because personally, I feel like it's too structured and doesn't leave enough. Like one person can go out and kind of, or a couple people can go out and branch off and do their own thing, and it works out. It seems like it's super structured where you attack certain mini bosses at certain times, and you have to be there or you lose the game. Based off of
Like I
like
said,
what people are thinking.
first Dreadnought might be a little bit overtuned.
Yeah,
Okay.
I could agree with that.
And
Uh,
Zapdos is a mess, but I think it might not even be Zapdos' problem. Like, some of the mons PV damage is too much, and you can't cap on tier 2 towers
yeah.
ever. There's like a bunch of problems.
Do you
Like,
think?
there's no play where you go double like overtime, right? And you push as a team to get a tier 2 tower or goal, whatever
Mhm.
it's called, right? Like, there's no,
Yeah.
you can't do that. The other team takes Zapdos and you lose. So maybe
Hmm.
like,
Do you think that, like, for example, a buffed Rotom would help with that? Like making it easier to crash the Rotom, because I
the
think that's a
problem
big problem.
the problem is the team that wins Dreadnought is gonna get Rotom.
That's
So you'd be indirectly buffing Dreadnought.
well, sure, but like you can just fight the. Like I'm saying, like if you were able
Oh,
to say
go for the
give
trade,
up,
maybe?
yeah, go for the trade.
That might help.
Yeah, 'cause right now it's certainly like, all right,
Cool. We have a question from Legends, and he asks, "Are you guys gonna be playing the Victory Road tournament? That is, I don't actually know when, but a couple days or
I
so,
want to say
right?
the
Yeah,
31st.
I think we'll try to play.
Cool.
Nice.
Same team, same comp. Well, not
Same
like
team, same. I'm not
composition,
gonna tell
but
you
same
if we're playing
people.
the same comp. What the hell?
No, yeah, no, no.
Why did you ask him that? God damn it.
I meant
Maybe
like
me,
comp as in like the what roles people are gonna play or something. I didn't mean like the
Uh,
Pokemon. I don't know. It was
Yeah,
a bad question.
maybe Lutano will play one of the other hots guys. We'll see.
Okay.
okay.
Do you actually have like a group of like 8 people or so, and you can rotate them out?
We wanted to, yeah.
Yeah.
So
On a,
the big hots thing just wrapped up, okay, and we're like hots guys. So
okay, yeah. On an unrelated note, have you seen how Rich is doing?
who's rich?
Rich, you don't remember Rich MVP Black?
Oh, he's playing Pokemon.
He's playing League right now.
Oh no, is he doing well?
He's on the second place team in Korea.
Well, that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
His coach is still the other guy, right? What's his name?
I'll double check. I
I
think
think.
it's somebody else.
Oh, that's
I know
sad.
I know they were like really shit for like the entire year, and then they just all of a sudden started getting good. and Rich stopped dying in the lane. So
I remember at BlizzCon, like Rich killed one of our players. I think it was in the middle of Braxis or something, and he was just
oh
devastated for the
god.
rest of the day. It was like a Genji versus somebody thing, and he died. And the guy was mega sad the whole day. Alright, you guys gonna keep hanging out, or
Do you have any? Well, yeah, you said you gotta go. Do you have any like closing things you want to say? Shout outs to anybody? The fans out there?
shout out to my team. We're having fun. We're mostly keeping it light, having a good time. Oh,
Nice.
dude, what's with the master points? What the hell? They need to fix it. Like,
Oh, master points suck.
yeah, I'd rather sit like at least a 2 minute queue. Like, you don't insta queue me to the 0 point game, right? Like that.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't understand. Like sometimes
I agree.
we queue and we get in instantly, okay, and then it's 0 points. How does that work?
Do you only do
Does it?
5 stacks, by the way, or do you ever do solos?
No, I played some 3 and 2 and stuff.
The game
Have I
sucks
played
pretty hard solo.
Have I played
So.
solo? Being Pikachu isn't that fun solo, to be honest, and I like Pika. I play Slowbro a lot when I'm solo.
Dude, imagine playing Eldegoss
Really
solo.
flexible.
That
It's
sounds that sounds like you're
it's
literally
really
coin flipping
sad.
every game. Like that actually sounds like coin flipping.
It's really painful mentally.
Well, at least you're like giving your team the advantage of always having Eldegoss, right? It's like
Yeah.
Cinder Shot.
Yeah, that's why I picked it because I didn't want to not have one.
Maybe
then-
Cinder. You know, maybe the problem with Cinder is that he's weak early game, and
He's not that
He's
weak though. Like he's still
really
decent.
easy to get blown the fuck out of lane in solo queue sometimes.
probably Jungle Cinder is probably like a really good solo queue pick. Gengar's probably a really good solo queue.
Gengar's good because people just kind of don't care, and then they die. And then,
Guys, look out for this Wisdom GG HOTS tournament where it's like 10 HOTS players though. Like it's coming. The
Alright, so-
announcement's coming any day now.
Someone clip that, and we'll see if George is the real prophet.
And Scara, like
yeah, they're just gonna invite you, and then you'll never say anything bad about him again.
No, and they hosted a herbs tournament. I was like rank 1 in herbs at the time, and I had to get in by someone else putting me in the as their
Fuck.
like they took me as their +1 to the duo tournament.
What the
It's
shit?
really it's really sad, dude. And I'm like kind of a HOTS person too, right? I just say stuff like this always, so then I'm on the shit list, I guess. Am I allowed to say shit? Oh, I'm on a Pokemon stream.
yeah,
Straight
no,
to jail.
whatever. No, you can say you
Okay.
could like blow someone up. I don't care.
No, yeah, I'm on the poop list, so
See, you're doing the one with the censoring, not me. That's you.
no.
You can say whatever you want. I don't care.
I'll
As
go
long as
fuck.
it doesn't like get the stream banned.
think I'm gonna go queue, guys. It's been fun.
Alright.
Oh,
I
yeah.
appreciate the questions and stuff. Thanks for letting me promote myself, I guess.
Yeah, thanks for
Thanks for
coming
coming
on.
on,
It's
man.
great to get some, some info about what's going on at the top level.
You guys gotta get my help me get my YouTube started, man. I want to upload.
Shout it out, whatever.
No, I don't have it yet.
Oh yeah, you were asking for editors or like help with
Yeah,
editing,
I
right?
need like an editor or someone to coach me, tell me what to get. You know, it's a bunch of. I'm a noob, so
If you
I want
want,
to
like,
upload like the tournament games and are like climb
Mhm.
to rank 1 on ladder and stuff like that. So
yeah,
gotta-
you could try to like. I'm not gonna obviously tell you that he's going to help you, but I know Techno's a nice guy, and he might help you if you DM him.
okay, I'll definitely look into it. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much for coming on.
All right, later, guys.
See you. So that was okay. That's not my mouse. This is my real mouse. Da 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 da. Cool. Yeah. So if you guys liked the podcast and everything, I'm gonna upload it in over 24 hours, just so I don't break like TOS onto YouTube. If you want to see some parts that you missed, follow the channel here, subscribe on YouTube. I got some other videos going on. Lazadin, do you want to say anything about you?
Yeah, I'll be working on uploading a like intermediate slow bro guide pretty soon here with on Technovoid's channel. That'll be fun.
Cool.
I'm not sure when that'll go live, but we'll be recording it pretty soon.
Sometime in a week or so.
It should be within a week.
Cool.
I'm not gonna put words in his mouth though.
Anything else you got, like a Twitter or something? Or
I actually don't. Well, I do have a Twitter. I just don't use it. I think
Okay.
I've used it to retweet like one meme, and that's it.
That's pretty value. Okay. Does
Well, actually,
anybody?
no. I remember now. I have also retweeted Final Fantasy 14 drama. So if you want Final Fantasy 14 drama,
Just drama, not the game itself. Just drama.
yeah, dude,
What drama
that's
could
the
there
real
be?
content. How about
Like guilds or what?
one of the top white mages in the world going on downing a bunch of pills and then going on a multi-state police chase? How about that?
Well, that sounds like not drama. That just sounds illegal. I don't know. Like, I
It
wouldn't
was
even want to
wild.
comment on that, or else they'll bring me in to like interrogate me or something. Like, how do you know this guy? And I'll be like, I don't. I just made a tweet, man, or something. I don't
It
know.
was wild. It was real wild.